Hello everyone, I'm Sushant Reddy and I'm going to introduce our venture, SheetKraft. Let us begin with the question. What is the most popular business software in human history? No prizes for guessing, it's Excel. With a 750 million user base, Excel is used across every business vertical you can think of. Why are spreadsheets popular? They have some great benefits. Flexibility, ease of use, and intuitiveness are the biggest USP. Unfortunately, this popularity comes at a cost, and workbooks with hundreds of linked sheets is a nightmare in terms of scalability. And anyone can practically change anything on a spreadsheet, so it's uncontrollable. And even a small inadvertent change might lead to a huge model errors, so it's brittle. This was seen in the two biggest spreadsheet blunders which came into public domain in the recent past. The bottom line is that the risk of these spreadsheets can no longer be ignored. On a control versus complexity chart, there is a red zone of high complexity and low control. This is usually the wild, wild west where Excel cowboys operate. And then there is a compliance and the IT which wants to shift this red zone to the blue zone, which is of high control and high complexity. We believe this gap presents an opportunity for SheetKraft. Key value proposition is to improve control and reduce compliance cost. But, and this is a critical but, we want to retain the flexibility of spreadsheets. If we lose that flexibility, we might get audience with the compliance department, but we will lose out with the business users. So we have two parts to SheetKraft. One is a formula framework which enhances the automation on existing spreadsheets. And second, an application framework which brings control by converting the spreadsheet into an application. SheetKraft looks at any workbook as inputs, intermediate calculations, and outputs. Intermediates could be a chain of interconnected data, Excel formulas defined by the user, or underlying macros. And the outputs could be a data range and charts. SheetKraft passes the spreadsheet and converts the entire workbook into simple callable formula. This provides huge automation benefits for business users. We go one step forward and convert this formula into an application with a custom user interface. For example, the entire model can be compressed into a function called ultimate z-score, or you can publish the model into an application. The advantage is that user has more control on the model, and any change that is done on a spreadsheet can be republished onto the application. So compliance costs are drastically cut down. Our target market comprises of power users of Excel. At 5% of total user base, this market is around 35 million users. If you look at certain markets like insurance, Excel models are used more than any other model in the industry. So our initial focus is going to be on funds, sell-side research, insurance firms, and investment banking. With the huge regulatory changes in form of Basel III, Dodd-Frank, and IFRS, we expect the first level of models to be built on spreadsheets over the next 5 years. Compliance spending is also increasing in banking and finance industry, which is a positive news from our perspective. We've listed the profile of users who constitute our target market and estimate that there are about 350,000 business users who could be potential clients of SheetKraft. We also segmented companies based on market cap. Our estimate is that there are over 7,000 accounts where we can sell an enterprise version of software in the US. Competition mainly comes from Cluster 7 and EASA. Both are players operating in this space for the last 5 years. Our main USP over our competition is that we focus on making our solution end user friendly. Usually control comes at a cost of flexibility, and we have made sure that we stick to the same ground rules that are followed by spreadsheets. So the learning curve for business users is at an absolute minimum. Our core offering has two components: a formula-based automation tool sold as an Excel plugin for a one-time license fee, and the second is an enterprise version which contains a database of spreadsheet models in an application format with appropriate access control and versioning. We also plan to wrap a layer of managed services around this version where we could charge the clients a consulting fee. We plan to use direct, indirect, and web marketing strategies for selling SheetKraft. We plan the direct marketing route to reach out to various desks at 100 large funds in the NYC area. For this, we want to leverage the alumni network of CBS. The second route is where we are looking at commission-based reselling agreements with Microsoft certified MVPs and risk consulting firms which offer spreadsheet solutions to clients. Lastly, we plan to have a strong web presence with very rich content which includes blogs, tutorials, webinars, etc. We've launched a formula automation tool this month, the trial of which can be downloaded at www.sheetkraft.com. We've signed up around 40 early adopters who have a background in consulting and investment banking. We also filed a patent application on our core algorithm, which is dynamic dependency graph resolution. And currently we are in discussions to enter into a reseller agreement with an Excel MVP and a risk consulting firm. Going forward, we want to launch an application version beta in June 2015, and we want to launch the full application in September 2015. Currently, we have a young team with a good combination of tech and business skills. All of us are passionate about technology and data analytics, and in our past roles, we have all been extensively involved with spreadsheets. Since it is an early stage company, we are more focused on 1-year milestones. Our target is to have a paid user base of 500 for Formula Automation tool and to acquire 5 client accounts for the application framework in the first year. We predict that the third year revenues would be at 11 million USD with the EBIT of 4.9 million. To reach our 1-year target, we need a seed capital of 400,000 USD and we offer 8% of the firm in return. We believe that this capital will help us get to the Series A stage in 12 months' time. With a strong team, a strong IP, Phase 1 launch and a Phase 2 beta in the pipeline, we believe that we have an attractive offer.